Hi guys, Eric Pathy here at PickDogs.com for your overnight Friday report. We're doing this video quite early today. It is 1 o'clock, 1:03 Eastern Standard Time. A lot of clients were talking to me about the upcoming baseball season, which starts today, Thursday, for the video we're doing Friday. A lot of your clients, All Access members, were asking about when do you start baseball, and wanted me to inform them, so we'll inform this on this video. Basically mid-April when we get into postseason play in the NBA, and you do have a valid reason for it.
I do. Yeah, for me, I prefer to let the pitchers get 2 or 3 starts under their belt. I'd rather rely on this year's data for the pitchers than last year's data. So that's why I do it. Everyone handicaps baseball differently. Some people like to go full bore at the start of the year, but I'm going to wait till mid-April.
Yours truly. And let me ask you, you also do, for memory, WNBA,
WNBA, CFL, UFL, the United Football League, that starts Friday with the Battlehawks Roughnecks game. Yeah, we really do it all. Hockey will be here with their playoffs. We've got, the NBA playoffs coming up in 3 weeks as well. So,
yeah, you had a win. You had a win the other day with the Jets against the most profitable team in NHL this season, my Washington Capitals. I think you're up 16.
It seems like you're a big fan of teams that do well in the regular season but flame out in the playoffs. That seems
we had that discussion last night, and you made a very valid points with teams like Oak City. So share it with the public. That a lot of these teams, just because they do well in regular season, means nothing once postseason. You were telling me about the games in this tournament so far this season, like Florida.
Yeah, I was just trying to give a dig at you and Kasi for liking the Orioles, the Ravens, and the Capitals. But yeah, certain teams, the up and coming teams, a lot of time in the NBA, it's really important for them to have the best record in the league. They're trying to accomplish something. They're trying to build something. The playoffs start, and I think Oklahoma City is really, really, really good, but a lot of the teams aren't putting forth the effort that they're putting forth every single game. When the playoffs start, the Boston Celtics will, take it up a notch, for example.
Right. So just because Oak City's 45-24-4, and Cleveland is 44-27, and Toronto is 44-28, doesn't really mean anything in the postseason.
Yeah, those records will flatten out in the postseason when other teams begin to, take it up a level.
There you go. So with that being said, guys, we got plenty of basketball left. I think you got a compliment. Oh, and by the way, for all the Telegram subscribers, as we know, Al puts out plays days in advance, especially when he's done all his handicapping and his work. And, we can put it out there. We're not going to give out the play, but in the Crown Tournament on Monday, March 31st, you've already released a six-star, one of your higher-rated plays. And the line is not available everywhere for all clients to play. And so isn't that interesting that you have a game that's up in some places and then you have a game that's not up in other places?
Yeah, that's even the case. I've got 5 outlets for college basketball. I've got 6 overall. One doesn't even take college basketball, but I've got 5 outlets, and 2 of the 5 have a line on the game, and 3 of the 5 do not. That's just the way it is. It's, not every sports book puts out lines on games at the same time. And, I got down a little bit, but I still have about 60% of my wager to go. So
there you guys go. So I always, it's funny. And before we get to your complimentary selection in the tournament, Micah, who obviously we all met together in Vegas, he always says, everybody thinks it's hard to win. The reality is that they make it painful when you're a winner to bet. It's like they make it painful when you're a winner.
Well, both, though, the reality is it is hard to win. 99% of the people do not win. And if you do win, then you have to worry about. Well, no, it's. But we talk about it. You have to worry about all sorts of things: getting paid, paying taxes. It's the whole. It is what it is.
It is what it is. So with that being said, guys, 7 days of All Access for $1,000. You can send me a text message to 443-957-1006. We're going to be basketball centric with Big Al's All Access, as he said, all the way through mid-April. And we got plenty of basketball left. NBA's cooking. And like I said yesterday, we were talking about your Laker, depending upon the line. Laker was a push in some spots. Clippers were a nice win. Again,
Yeah, it goes the Lakers.
I talked to three clients. One won, one lost, and one pushed.
It goes in our books as a loss, unfortunately. So we were 3-1 yesterday. Just just a horrible way to lose a game. You're up by 6, 118, 112. You end up winning just by 1. But that's the way the cookie crumbles. I'll take the 3-1 day. Move on to Thursday.
But Al, the inquiring minds want to know, when I get those text messages from the new gamblers and they say, isn't it fixed? Isn't there a conspiracy theory? And I always like to bring that to you. I do it for fun, for content. What do you say to these new bettors that just started betting, that shake their head and go, how is this possible that I lost a game by a half a point? What do you tell the new guy that doesn't understand it's just part of variance?
Yes, you will lose roughly 1% of your games by half a point.
There you go. There you go. Everybody thinks there's a grand scheme when that happens, but I always say there's somebody on the other side of that game that actually won the game that isn't complaining.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I know you got an NCAA complimentary selection this Friday.
I do. And I'm just looking of the games in this set of games I'm looking at right now. It has 141 games. And I'll talk about it. But in that set, there were 0 games that lost or won by half points. So
there you go.
As an aside. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to look on Friday. We're going to look at the game between the Michigan State Spartans and the Ole Miss Rebels. And the Rebels have been installed as a 3.5 point underdog. And I'm going to take the Rebels plus the points. SEC conference teams as underdogs in the NCAA tournament. They've gone 76, 62, and 3 ATS going back to 1990, including 19 and 11 in the Sweet 16 round. And in the Sweet 16 round, if they're an underdog from +3 to +5.5 points, they're 12-1 ATS. So right now the line's sitting at 3.5. We'll take Ole Miss plus the 3.5 against Tom Izzo Spartans.
Ole Miss plus the 3.5. I did have a question request. Catching you off guard, you might not know off betting side. Somebody asked me, what's the biggest seeded upset to ever win the championship game that your database like in the history?
Well, it would be before my database, I'm sure. Off the top of my head, I want to say an 11 seed Villanova or NC State in. I could just have to Google it. What their seeds were. Villanova when they upset Georgetown, or NC State when they upset Houston. My guess would be an 11 seed, but let me quickly look. I could be dead wrong on that.
So basically, it's not really as it's anticlimactic. Basically, most of the time, it's the top seeds that are at the end of the game.
Well, now I'll explain why. So in 1983, NC State was a 6 seed. Let me see what Villanova was when they upset Georgetown.
NC State was a 6 seed.
There's a reason why it doesn't happen anymore. Villanova was an 8 seed. So that would be my guess, would be Villanova is the 8 seed. So the reason it doesn't happen anymore is because the NCAA has implemented the shot clock. And in the past, you used to get you would have the opportunity to get bigger upsets because that was the equalizer. A team that didn't have the talent would just take the air out of the ball, shorten the game, and increase their chances to win. Well, now when you've got a 30-second shot clock, there goes that idea, and talent will win out as you have to keep shooting the ball every 30 seconds. So That's the reason why we don't have these Cinderellas anymore in the in the tournament. You might get a team.
So when you get UMBC beating Virginia, you pretty much know there's no way.
One game. Oh yeah,
there's no way they're going to go further. It's pretty hard to do. Yeah, got it.
Yeah, so I am looking. It was Villanova was the lowest seed to win. It says 3 other 8 seeds have made the title
what year
game,
was that?
But they didn't win. That was 1985.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, so that's why we don't see these fun Cinderella stories anymore. It's once you get to the Final Four, it's pretty much all chalk.
There you go, guys. So you learned something on each and every video. As a matter of fact, yesterday's video was a little longer than normal, and I think people liked the conversation. I got a lot of inquiries and response about just teaching them about certain things not to do, like buying half of the points. And it's good. Like I'm telling people, send me questions for these videos because, we don't pre-talk about them. But it is interesting because everybody gets excited with the Cinderella theory, and you just basically quashed that. But you gave them a reason why.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like
Yeah,
I said,
that was back when I was in college,
right.
1983, 85, those were, that was really the fun time of the tournament. I don't know if you remember the game. Princeton almost took down Georgetown that one year. I think they lost 50-49 is my memory of the game. But that would have been a monster upset. I think Georgetown might have been a number 1 seed and Princeton might have been a 16 seed.
Yeah,
And
I
Pete
was 3
Carroll was the
years removed.
coach.
I didn't start working in this office where I'm doing the video from till 1988, so I wasn't even really that interested till I got here.
Yeah. Yeah, that was almost the 16 versus 1. The biggest dragon would have been slayed there because it was Patrick Ewing, I think. I think he was on the 89 team. And they were the number 1 seed in the East bracket. And, tiny Princeton, which was 16th at the time,
Right.
almost beat them, which, yeah, they just took the air out of the ball. Yeah, here's a score of 50-49. I was right. So it's, that was like, I thought the most interesting college basketball game in the tournament, the upset that almost happened.
So let
So
me
that would
ask
have
you.
been fun.
That's great info. I want to last thing. This crown tournament. The purpose of this was just to have more games to bet on. What was your estimate? What was it to give these teams?
No, obviously the purpose is money.
Right.
The people who founded the tournament, and they're just trying to make money off of it, off advertising and whatnot. It helps us because it's our business is betting on games, but the people who are promoting the event, certainly they don't care about that.
There you go. So, like I said, whether it's NIT, Crown Tournament, or NCAA, or NBA, or WNBA, we got it for you. Let's rock and roll, guys. Reach out to me, 443-957-1006. And as always, good day and good luck.